Yes, my people, welcome back to AFTV. Welcome back to another AFTV Live. And today's kind of main headline, I'm sure you've all seen already. Bissouma is signed over to Tottenham Hotspur on a £25 million fee, probably 30 million with add-ons, not a massive number. I'm joined by Turkish. I'm not gonna ask you if you're all right because I know this slightly rattled you when you saw the news.
It's not rattled. None of this is news to me.
Oh, you expect? So you kind of.
No, but I mean,
what are we in for Bissouma?
How many times does this need to happen before it's not a surprise anymore? This ain't the first time. People will say it's only a couple of days into the window, but I'm not looking at this window and a couple of days into it. I'm looking at this ownership, the reign. Even if you look at the manager and Edu when they came in, you have to look a little bit more back than the last 2-3 days since the window's opened. Okay, it's not time to panic, but at the same time, the team that finished a couple of points above us, the team from down the road, have already addressed one position in the starting 11. Yep. Perisic slots in left wing back for Conte. Jed Spence, it looks like he's going to be the next one, right wing back Conte. And then Bissouma goes into the middle. 3 players nearly there, it seems, that go straight into their starting 11. A starting 11 that finished in the top 4 last season. Yeah,
and that's another name to add to that. Fraser Forster as well at Tottenham as well.
Yeah,
I know. To try and cover, obviously, Lloris, they brought him in as well. So at that one, we have to talk about Jed Spence as well, quick, before we go over to Bissouma. And before I actually go into Jed Spence as well, guys, just to let you all know, again, I have to highlight the merch, because I keep getting questions about this. I was in the gym the other day, some guy come up to me saying, I like your top, where'd you get it? Can you get it in? Someone said Primark Sports Director said, nah, this is from AFTV, it's our shop. So you can head over to shop.aftv.co.uk. There is a discount code on there for you guys. Type in GUNA in capital letters 20. You get 20% off for all merch. So go use that now. Come and join the family. This is the I Like It, Emil Smith wearing Saka top, and then obviously Turkish is wearing my favourite one, if I'm honest, the Thierry Henry hoodie there. So go do that. The code is valid until Father's Day, so make sure you go check that out straight away. Jed Spence and Bissouma, I can't lie. If they get Jed Spence over the line, that will hurt me. The Bissouma one, I don't know how much we were in for Bissouma anyway. I think a lot of it was fan-led.
Yeah, 100%. As always. As always.
Do you serious?
Wasn't Vlahovic fan-led?
Okay, I'm not going to go into...
Higuain, Benzema, all these players over the years. It's been fan-led. And they allow it to happen because it gives them time.
Is that what you think it is? Because they don't step in and say, do you know what, guys? You know, no one ever comes out and says that was never our target. This is who we're getting, and this is what, they never do that. So is that what you think? Because it's buying them time to make transfers. Is that what you generally believe?
Yeah, I'm not heartbroken by this Bissouma thing. I like Bissouma, and I think we should have got him. And for 25 mil, it just doesn't make sense to me. But you know, Arsenal have declined so much that I've been in bigger pain than I am losing out to Tottenham with Bissouma.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is they're already making strides to improve on their team next season. And it's not only a case of spending with Arsenal, because a lot of people are quick to remind me we spent 150 last year and so on. It's about being proactive too. It's about, you know, identifying the areas of need, identifying players, maybe A, B and C for those positions, and then attacking the transfer window proactively, aggressively. At least get a couple. When you're a club that needs at least 5-6 players, you should get 2-3 over the line pretty quickly. I think Tottenham are a club that probably need 5-6 players, but it looks like they're getting 2-3 over the line pretty quickly. And they've already got one over the line.
Do you think they'll do more though? Do you think they're going to be doing more? Because if I hear what you're saying, but I don't think we're going to get... I think we need 6 players, but over the line, I think I said 4. The way we start this window, maybe
Tottenham
less.
Will definitely do 4 more. If you think about it, they made Champions League, right?
Right. Oh, that's a big selling point.
And then they got Perisic for free. Jed Spence, what will he be? 20 million roughly? And then it looks like Bissouma's 25, 45 million. They'll definitely spend more money.
Outrageous.
But you look at what they're doing and it's making sense. Don't get me wrong, next season it might start and it might not work with Conte and we can hope that it doesn't. But at the same time, as a fan of our club, we want our club to move in a similar way. We want our club to be proactive and just get what you need to get. Like, Jesus is not the answer to our problems, but he's definitely an upgrade. Tielemans is not the answer to our problems, but it's definitely an upgrade. But we need more on those two. So let's not let it drag out for the rest of the transfer window. Let's get it done. Let's get some wind behind the sails. And, you know, it's up to Arsenal to take our eyes away from what Tottenham are doing or from what United are
hard,
doing,
though,
and
innit?
so on. It's up
It's
to the
hard,
club.
it's hard, bro.
If we had a signing in the bag that we was all gassed about, do you think we would care about Bissouma? Do you think we would have cared this morning? We wouldn't have.
That's a good point.
We wouldn't have.
If we made a sign, and say if, I know it's not the same position, say if Gnabry was signed, then I wouldn't be, and it's so possible to go get him. 33 million they're kind of wanting for him. Seems like, you know, he wants to be here at Arsenal. 33 million, I think, is a low figure. If we made that signing before this came out, no, yeah, you're right. I don't really care too much about Bissouma, but there'll be a lot of the fan base that are really frustrated that we didn't get him, because I know a lot of fans do want to see him at Arsenal, even though he's more of a defensive DM midfielder instead of a progressive midfielder. A lot of fans still wanted him here, and when you see our rivals down the road game, I think it burns a little bit more, especially as they only got him as well for 25 million.
They've upgraded their midfield.
Yeah,
that's what burns the most about it, because we need upgrades in various areas in our side. Like I said, it's not necessarily about Bissouma himself. It's about, we're looking at our neighbours, the ones that just finished above us and rubbed it in our faces, doing business.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. It's not about Bissouma or Jed Spence. I'm not jealous of these signings because we can make good signings. We can make, you know, signings to upgrade. It's easy to upgrade certain positions in this side, but when you haven't, when the rumours, I mean, today on Twitter, a couple hours into Bissouma news coming out, you get one guy on Twitter deciding to write, Tielemans still in our plans, should be done by the end of this month.
Yeah.
But what, you know, it's all about timing for these lot. That's not news. That's not new news. That's been the case for the last 2-3 weeks.
Yeah, they've been working on it for a few weeks, so that makes sense. Do you think it's very much... We're going to get to your super chats. Thank you. Keep sending them in, because, listen, it's always appreciated, and we're going to get through them. I need all the communication and conversation from you guys. But let me ask you, do you think this is heavily Conte-led then, these signings? Do you think this is all him going to the top and saying, look, I did it in the end. I had my meltdown. I proved to you after that. You gave me the players in January. Now we're in Champions League. Do you think it's all coming from him, or do you think he might have brought people in that's helping him, or the board might be saying, okay, I do back Conte after what I've seen, or do you think he's saying, no, keep giving me what I want, we can take this to another level?
Listen,
Daniel Levy's normally tight with the money, man.
We've got to be honest with ourselves. It starts there.
And you believe
they hired an Antonio Conte, and I say an Antonio Conte because I mean a manager that demands success, a manager that demands progression, a manager that demands what he needs in order to implement his philosophy on a side.
But
they brought that manager in.
It did almost go wrong. Remember, it was going wrong.
Yeah, he flipped that. But at the end of the day, that's also a managerial tactic, and it seemed to work, because after he flipped that, I think they lost one in the next 10 or so games.
I think it's 11, yeah.
You know, and that was the Ronaldo hat-trick game. So that's a managerial tactic that, when I was growing up, you'd see that an awful lot, because that sort of tactic worked. Not so much in this day and age, because players are very sensitive now, you know. But it worked for him. It worked for Tottenham. They got top 4. Off the back of that, you hear 150 million cash injection out of nowhere, and then you see Perisic walk through the door for free, and you see a couple shrewd signings in terms of rumours with the Jed Spence and Bissouma.
Yeah.
That's shrewd business. It's not only quality they're adding and improving their side. They're not spending much on it. 45 million on those 2 players.
Pennies, man.
How much did we spend on Lokonga last year?
22, 23, was it?
It might have been 22. I can't remember. If you remind me in the comment section. From 17 to 22, let's say. At the end of the day, that's a midfielder that's supposedly not ready.
Yep.
And the midfielder that is ready, that has got Prem experience, that can fill a couple of positions in the middle in different ways. 6 million?
Yeah. Well, Partey was 45 as well, and they got 2 signings there for that price. And there's, for me, 2 signs of quality have proven themselves against big Premier League teams.
Partey is better than Bissouma, but Bissouma is better than every other midfielder we have, clean. And that's what's, you know, that is upsetting, because we could have done with a Bissouma, but, you know, I'm not surprised. I'm just interested to see how the club let us down this time round.
Yeah, well, there's going to be an argument to say, listen, Tielemans is more the style that we need. I know you probably don't want to hear that in this Arsenal side, because he is more progressive. I looked at the numbers today in the sense of going forward, taking more shots in full. He does a lot more than Bissouma, and yeah, loads of passes forward. So Tielemans does fit the profile, I think, a bit more for his Arsenal side, but I still think
we need 2 midfielders, and if you could have got Tielemans and Bissouma in for 60 million between them, 35 and let's say 25, I'd applaud. I'd be like, yo, Bissouma and Tielemans, 60 million. You've sorted your midfield out in a sense, because when you got Partey, Tielemans, Bissouma, it doesn't really matter about 4, 5, and 6 because you're hoping that those 3 stay fit. But 4, 5, and 6, whatever it is, El Nene, Lokonga, Xhaka, whatever.
Okay, so Turkish, that's 60 million there. Say we'll say there's about 4. You want to get 4 signings. So that's 2 of the 4. Who are the other 2, and how much are you looking to really spend on those other 2? Because just say we have about, I don't know how much, a budget of like 100 million or 150 million.
So you're not giving me that 70 from January, you know?
No, we're not doing
that. Where's that gone?
That doesn't work. You know, it should work like that, but you know they're not thinking that.
I said 100. I thought I had the 70 in my back pocket from January, my guy, but...
We tried to get Balovic Turkish. We tried to get Balovic. We really did.
Still, I think we called the wrong number, but it is what it is.
Who would be the other 2 signings if we did get Tielemans?
Yeah, but don't say 100 mil, because your time my hands behind my back. I'd leave. I'd say this is it. I'd be like Conte, I enter. I'd be like, listen, they're not backing me.
Okay, realistically, 150 million. You did it well last summer with the 6 signings, 150 million. You got another 150 to spend. You've just spent 60 on those 2 midfielders, who are the next 2 or 3 out of that 150 million left.
If there's any chance in Gnabry, I'm getting Gnabry.
Okay, cool. So I would say...
But it's laughable now, because we're not in Champions League. We haven't even tested the waters. And to be honest with you, I said it before, it's easier to sell dreams to us fans than it is to the players. And Gnabry at 27 going into his last big contract, and I'm sure he wants to continue winning stuff. Will he come to Arsenal Football Club?
Yeah.
Only example I have of similar is when Van Persie asked the club to show them. And I don't want to keep on going over the same shit. We don't. That's the reason I feel this way. So if that two midfielders like that, Bissouma, Tielemans, if you bring in a Gnabry as well,
that's about 40 million. That's
bring in a Jesus
100 million
well.
There. Then Jesus. Okay, so that's probably going to push it to the max there. So that's
not even to the max. You're still under 150.
Yeah, I'd say about 140. But you know what?
And I go to the safe and get that 70 mil out, that we saved in January.
That's not there. Right, guys, listen, there's a million super chats flying in. I'm so sorry. We just had to start the conversation. 4.4 thousand of you here watching. Please hit the like as well. We're going to get into the super chats and the comments now, and then get into the conversation. And I'm going to read you all the news of today. Now, I may have lost... Cecil G, you may have lost a few super chats there.
You don't have it in the back end.
No, so I'll see if I can get them back before the end of the show. But Jared D. Rama says, I have zero faith in Arsenal this transfer window. We'll maybe get 1 more transfers over the line and be told we have all we need to succeed. SOS. VMW says, I've fallen out of love with this club. Show me a successful organisation that has novices throughout their hierarchy. Bissouma 7 mil, more than Lokonga. Blimey.
And what he's saying there is not like, wow, he's right. No, it should be plain the obvious to everyone, but he has to say it and I have to say it because it doesn't seem obvious to everyone. Everyone seems to want to make excuses for this.
No, this is very true.
I made a tweet today about, all I said was be excited, trust the process, be fooled. That's all I said. Right. And yes, a lot of people agreed with it, but you still have a lot of people like, oh, give it a rest, Turkish. Oh, it's only a few days left of the... And I'm just thinking... This is about Kroenke and the ownership. If you like, I'm going to keep on, and this is something I've said before again, if you like Arteta and you think he's the man, then put pressure on the owners. Okay. Because there's murmurs recently that Arteta's not been happy with the way we started the transfer window, but everyone wants to ignore those rumours. And if you was manager of Arsenal Football Club, would you be happy with the way we've started? So it seemed logically to me, he wouldn't be happy. Do I know for sure? No.
We don't know, because business could be... But logically, could be getting done, but I'm playing devil's advocate, or as big up angel's advocate on the other side, saying there could be work getting done, there could be signs that we see come through the door, and this will all be a conversation for another day. We still might see Serge Gnabry come in. We still might. I mean, it's very hopeful. I'm being very hopeful because that's the fan I am. And there could be Zinchenko, it could be Tielemans. I still think that's a good window if you get both of them and you add in another attacking option and maybe a striker. I'm gonna get back to the super chats. Benjamin Botwee says, regret getting the new Arsenal kit now. Purchased it before I knew about the Bissouma deal. Would have cancelled straight away after knowing this. These super chats are flying in. Guys, I'll get to the comments as well. I was gonna make sure I get these out. And people in production, if there's any I missed, do pop them up and we'll read them out. Kyle Garnes says, Turkish, we need answers to our problems. If Jesus is not the answer, let's not waste time pursuing him. Let's pursue a world-class striker. Now, without Champions League football, I know it's going to be difficult with Arsenal and looking like we're not looking to spend big money, because if that was the case, that would have been done pretty early on. It'd be interesting to see what quality strikers would come to Arsenal right now, because I don't even deem that we're the most attractive club to come to in London at this stage. So it's a difficult one. David Rajan says, it's been 20 years since we won the league. Sad to say we won't ever win it win anything big again in my lifetime. Our fan base accept this, and it sickens me. These super chats are rushing in. Marco, I'm so tired of the fans constantly believing PR and every word from the club. We are becoming divided as a fan base. Protest Turkish ? Hashtag Kronke out. Now you can give your word on protest.
When you're divided, it's probably one of the worst times to do a protest. We've seen it in the past. I've seen it in the past. You guys know I've tried. At this moment in time, there's still a wave of optimism. You know, there's still a wave of be patient and a wave of the transfer window's not closed yet and all of that. So, and yes, I know when the transfer window closes, it's the same people are going to say it's just closed, give it a break, give it a rest, wait till January and so on. It's just like
it's a cycle.
It's a cycle.
Do you have that on your Twitter? I'm sure there's like a
roundabout thing.
Gunning you down says Cecil's about to get punched. You can see Turkish's frustration. Gary Nolan says big up Cecil and Turkish. These are just some of the normal comments. Some of the comments here. Charles Lucas says evening folks, and then Pothead Essence says watch them get Spence Eriksson on a free, then get Richarlison or hijack Jesus. Andreas E says with a super chat, big up Andreas, says 150 million last year was a stunt for KSE to brag about. Being the biggest spenders in Europe with the youngest team in the Premier League. In the Premier League on Amazon, BPL on Amazon, just sounds nice and shuts us up for a bit. Sorry, we're stuck until they're gone. So it's all PR is kind of what you're saying there. All of this, even from the spending the most in the last summer window. I've never looked at it like that.
That was off the back of the Super League, so they had to do a little something.
They were under pressure. Under pressure.
But if you really delve into that, 6 players, 150 million.
It's not.
Come on. What's that when you break it down? 25 mil each?
Yeah.
I know it doesn't work like that, but the reality is we're going to need more on that.
But those players did show more than we expected.
That was a good start, but a start needs continuation, and January was a continuation of that start.
That's a great point.
And it dragged a bit of it back, and now this is the next window, and yes, we're only a few days in, but I assume that come the end of the window, we're still going to be asking why we wasn't proactive and why we didn't address this position, and the same questions we ask every season when the transfer window closes.
But if you was in their position, would you not be repeating that formula of like, okay, we spent loads in the last summer and it felt like the fans, got behind us and there was a new sort of, aura around the club. Would you, if you was, I don't want to say if you was the owner, but would you, if you was in their shoes and in their mindset, you'd be thinking, let's spend another load of money to keep them on side? Or do you think they're going to still try and do it on the cheap, shall we say?
No, they'll try to squeeze it dry. Like they squeezed the Ozil signing dry, the Sanchez signing dry. They try to give us a little nugget. And because we've been, starved of any massive signings or any real progress over the years, once we get an Ozil or we get a Sanchez or we get a Partey, everyone's running away with it like it's the next, like we're back.
Yeah.
But the reality is, all that does is give them more time. And they probably sit back after doing it and think, yeah, good move. It's chess to them at the end of the day. And the way to keep us quiet is leave rumours dangling about. Have the fans divided.
Yeah.
It helps them because no one can focus on them.
Which is frustrating. Again, the super chats are coming in. I might have missed some. I will make sure I try and get back to them. Ahmed says, big up Turkish. I love this guy, man. Quickly, Coasters for life with a comment says Tielemans plus Jesus plus Zinchenko and Gnabry equals perfect. I wouldn't be angry at that either. Elliot Roberts with a super chat. Thank you. Says for the price of our average centre back from the South Coast, Benjamin, we could have sorted our midfield out for the next 3 to 5 years. Tielemans Bissouma. Hashtag I am livid. Hashtag Arteta out. Arteta and Edu out. Now I can see a lot of people are really frustrated with the news of what's going on with Bissouma signing at Tottenham, and I do understand he's going to our rivals. I mean, I never thought it was really in for Bissouma. Like I said at the start of the show, I really did believe it was very fan-led, and I believe Tielemans can really benefit Arsenal if he does sign here. In a sense, he's more progressive than Bissouma, but like you'd mentioned, having both could have easily been done for Arsenal.
Naturally, as fans, we're looking around because as fans, a lot of us thought this season that we've made some small steps. Obviously, not making top 4 was a big blow, but as fans, if you believe we're making small steps, then you're going to look around and think and look at what the others are doing. The others, especially that finished above us, or the others in the big 6, United were behind us, but you know what they're about in terms of flexing. And what you worry, like I said at the start, if Arsenal had a signing under the belt now and not a 19-year-old from Sao Paulo that we've barely seen, a proper signing that, again, I say proper signing. Tielemans is a very good signing for us. It's an upgrade. The level we're at, cool, I'll take it. It's not an amazing signing, but it's a signing that, you know, if we had it under our belts and Bissouma goes to Tottenham, it's like, all right, cool. Good signing, but we don't really care about what you're doing over there.
That's what it is, Tokes. I think we're all looking, as Arsenal fans, I think right now we're just looking around at everyone else. We've got, like you said, Marquinhos, young signing, you know, we see Liverpool signing Darwin Núñez, City's got Haaland. Like, it's going crazy. Tottenham obviously got Bissouma and other players as well. Many people are making signs, and we're just here with our hands in our pockets, waiting for, I don't want to say a big name, because I don't want the big shiny
if you're waiting for a big name, I'll see you in 10 years, my guy.
Goodness sake.
Let me know how that went.
My day was good today, you know. It was nice and sunny outside. I was hoping it was going to, something might happen. We might end this show and then big news breaks. I don't expect a big name, but I do expect us to do business. I keep saying it. I feel like we're the furthest behind. We are. Out of the clubs I just mentioned, we are the furthest behind. Those teams that are making signings this early on, we are in the worst position. So I really want to see us move fast, but it's just not happening. That's why I think a lot of the fan base is frustrated. Sabin...
us, United and Chelsea are in the... City, Liverpool and Tottenham with the business they've done. They've started the transfer window on the front foot. Liverpool haven't got Núñez over the line yet, but Liverpool and City are something else anyway.
They
Man United, Chelsea and Arsenal are... The question marks over them, yeah? But the thing about Man United is they've just brought in a new manager, so it's you know they're kind of stripping everything down and kind of resetting.
Rebuild,
yeah? With Chelsea, it's the new owner, and I guess there's a lot of talks to be had and plans to be made and so on. With Arsenal, it's the third year of the process.
Yeah.
So I shouldn't be talking about us amongst two teams that are just about starting a new process of their own. If we're 3 years into our process, why am I, comparing us to, and not really comparing, but I'm looking at Chelsea and United and saying, well, we're closer to them in terms of activity this summer. But they've got very big reasons why. New owners, new manager. We don't. We're in our third year. If there's a process, you know what you need. You know what you need. In January, we didn't do no business, so surely that was the month that you identify what you need. But again, I know.
I think that's what there are rumours about Arteta getting frustrated about how the window started. I know it's not concrete yet. There's just rumours floating around, but it does. That's why it does seem believable with how everyone else is moving. And like you said, we're 3 years in now, and we need to be pushing on.
Maybe that's why they gave him the new contract after the 3 losses, because they thought to themselves, you know what, if he does make top 4 and we offer a contract, he's going to demand this and that. If we give it to him after the 3 losses, he might think, oh, that's such a nice thing. You lot really trust me. And when you saw Arteta's announcement of the contract, he was very much like that. He was very much like, they gave it to me after the 3 losses, which says a lot.
Yeah.
So maybe they've duped him into it as well. But at the end of the day, that's a man that stuck up for them. That's a man that said January was fantastic.
That's very true.
That's the man that they've put in as the face of the process. So now, if he cares about his reputation, those rumours that have come out recently that he might be upset with the way the transfer window started, it'd be interesting to see how they develop. It'll be interesting because, listen, Arteta, a lot of people thought and think he's going to be a top manager.
Yeah.
Now, if he is being held back by the club and there's been lies told, then, you're going to have to look at it and say, is this the best stomping ground for me?
Would you respect him if he just flipped and then Kroenke wants to just think, no, forget this, we'll get rid of him, or he leaves or he walks out?
I respect Antonio Conte a lot for the way he's handled his managerial stints in the past, be it Chelsea, be it Inter, and be it the way he was at Tottenham in January. It was laughable at the time. We're going through a good run, they're going through a bad run, their manager's flipping out. But a few months later, they got the cake. At the end of the day, Antonio Conte is an example of a manager that speaks out, he demands, he challenges above. I'd love that for a manager at Arsenal Football Club, because that's what you need.
So let me pull you back to that question. So if Arteta does that, if he walked out and then, I don't know, let's say a month later, he comes out in the press and says, listen, I demand this, they won't give it to me after I've proven, we just missed top 4, but I knew what we need to get back in there, and he left Arsenal, would you be very respectful of Mikel Arteta?
I'd understand it a bit more, but I'd also say, listen, you laid your bed, mate. You said they're backing you.
You're hard to please.
No, but I'd give him some credit there. But at the end of the day, listen.
It's a tough one. I mean,
it's his reputation.
It is
as well. Aside from Arsenal, and we are Arsenal fans. We are not Arteta fans. We are Arsenal fans, and we're hoping Arteta manages something well for Arsenal. Yeah. Arteta's got his own reputation to balance alongside his best intentions for the club, and if he thinks he's not getting what he needs to do his best for the club, then you got to ask questions. But this club, the thing about our, like the manager debate for me all the time now is, I get it. I was on Wenger's back. I get it, but I was tired. That was so frustrating. And you can't compare it to Emery or Arteta, because there was so much time given to Wenger and Gazidis and so on. There was so much time that it led to finishing out the top 4 2 years in a row.
Correct.
It's not like we got rid of them and then we finished at the top 4. You can't compare that. Emery, when he came in, you know, he'd done all right in his first season, 1 point off, you know, a transfer window that later on we find that he wasn't too happy with, because he came out and said he wanted Partey, he wanted Fabinho, he got Torreira, he wanted Zaha, he got Pepe, and so on. And some of these players now are leaving for free, some of them are struggling to find a new club. It is what it is. But when that run came for Emery, there was a couple managers out there that were intriguing options. Hence why Emery's time was done for me, because there's managers there that, in my opinion, have done some dirt. So give them the chance now, because with Emery, it just didn't click. It just didn't feel right at the end. And with that horrid patch, and it was a horrid patch, I think it was time. With Arteta, he's gone through a few horrid patches. He's backed them. They've supposedly backed him, 250 million and so on. But when push comes to shove, the process is 3 years in now. So in your third year, if you're not confident, aggressive and direct with what you need to do, I'm going to worry. And January made me worry initially. And the first couple of days, weeks of the post-season has worried me as well. Yes, we can pull out 3 signings in the next 3 weeks and it looks a lot better. But at the same time, some of our competition have already taken steps in the right direction.
Yeah, it's very true.
So any steps we do make, it's only leveling up the playing field, when in reality, the end of the last season shows we need to have more steps than them, if that makes sense. We need to make more progress than them in the summer. Not wait for them to take 2 steps and we take 2 steps. Otherwise, we're back where we are. We need 4, 5 steps, whereas they're taking 2, 3.
That's why January, I think, was the letdown for me as an Arsenal fan as well, as where we went wrong. We didn't strengthen then. Again, thank you everyone sending their thoughts and comments here. Jim_unit says, in a 4-3-3 system with 1 DM, where are we going to fit Bissouma? We already have 3 DMs. We need to sign 2 number 8s, not a DM. Arteta didn't want him, and I feel the same with Gnabry as well.
Like I said, Bissouma would be our second best midfielder. So all that maths you're doing about 4-3-3, where would he would be our second best midfielder. He would be our second best midfielder. Whether that's rotation with Partey or whether that's coupled up with listen, I'm not having that. We've got Xhaka playing for us and people are telling me there's no space for Bissouma.
It is mad. I want to see people saying, you know, it's sitting on the fence and stuff and all that, but obviously I'm playing both sides.
Yeah,
here,
you have to, because at the end of the day, when I'm on, you know, I'm very like
opinionated.
It's not even opinion. I don't. What's the diverge from my opinion?
There's no sugar.
Because I believe it is that the problem. The core of the problem is the ownership and the way we're run and what we're doing. So if you're there, you know, agreeing with it, you don't have a show. You don't have a show. That's why I like, you know, super chats that challenge or comments that challenge.
We can discuss it.
Because it's about having a debate. That's why I'd like to speak to Julian soon about what he thinks. Because Julian was on his high horse near the end of last season. Now let's talk, and we will talk soon. Julian will come on soon, maybe a supporters club or something, and we'll talk. We'll have him represent his side of things and people that believe in that way, and we'll have people that listen to my side of things.
So we got a super chat here from True Gooners TV. Says, we used to be world class in recruitment. David Dean. We used to have world class manager Wenger. We used to have world class players. Now, the only thing world class at Arsenal is the PR department. I mean, it is a lot of PR, and it is something that is becoming frustrating. And they are trying to. It's difficult because the last past season was so up and down. Like I think many fans as well. We didn't really know what was going on. At first, we were 3 defeats, then we went on a run, and then we were losing again, and was getting out of top 4. Was in top 4, was prime position to get top 4. Then we didn't strengthen in January and whatnot. Like a lot of things threw me as a fan, and that for me is not PR. That's just from what I'm seeing on the pitch. Now it does feel like it, because we're not watching games week in, week out. We're not getting our decisions made by that. We're getting decisions from whatever they want to show us and whatever they want to feed us. So at this stage now, it is very It's very frustrating.
Do you know what's more frustrating is I know that this club is still not intent on fixing Arsenal Football Club. They're more intent on making it seem like they're fixing Arsenal, and there's a big difference between the two.
Yeah,
a big difference. And I've got so many examples of this that makes. Listen, let's say this. We both got an iPhone, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Let's say we smash the back of the phone. Yeah. This bit cracks here. Yeah. You get two types of people. One person will probably actually three. One person might say, "Fuck it, I don't care. It's broken. Let it, go till the wheels fall off." Then you'll have another person who'll go buy a case, who'll cover it up, who they'll leave it broken, but they'll cover it up with something. Then you'll have someone who goes to the shop and fixes it straight away because they want something that looks good, that works well. Arsenal Football Club are buying cases at the moment. We're buying phone cases to protect or cover up our smashed phone
underneath.
And when this case gets old, what do? We take off the case and we go buy another case and we put it on the same smashed phone. There's never.
So what's the case?
Shop.
What's the case? The manager. So is the case, or is it just the PR that they're pushing us? What is the case? Is the case representing the manager as a new face, or is it just the
case is
the next PR stunt?
The case is the PR. The case is. Look how fresh and shiny this case is. Little does someone know, if you take this case off, the thing is just smashed. So,
I hear it.
And then the people see the shiny new case, and it's like they put their blindfolds on and be like, yeah, we've got a shiny new case. We're moving in the right direction.
You must understand a little bit Turkish, though.
It's the same broken phone from when Kroenke came in. It's the same broken club from when Kroenke came in.
But you did feel there was a change there was a moment in the season. Come on, you got to be honest with me that things were going well. I remember was doing player ratings, was giving Arteta 10s, and things felt right, and was going on good little runs, and things felt different. It felt like this is, for me anyway. I don't know. I know you're going to keep saying no, but I'm sure there was a time I was speaking with you and it was like, not that you was as I'm not going to say gullible, but as excitable as I was when I was thinking this could be a change, this could be the step forward for Arsenal where
this season
they could crack on. Yeah, there was moments in this season, surely.
Listen, there were moments this season. It was refreshing that we had a young side that were, that weren't tainted with mistakes of the past. I didn't look at Emil Smith-Rowe and have nightmares of 2019. I didn't look at Saka and have nightmares of whenever the last 10 years. We had a lot of new players that came in, and it was fresh. That was the best, and that was the best feeling about this season. It felt fresh in terms of the playing, the starting 11.
Yeah.
Even though amongst that freshness, there was a couple rotten apples in there that still need to. But
Arteta did a good job in trying to push a lot of them out.
It looked like the foundation looked like it was set.
Yeah.
Ben White, Ramsdale, they came in cool. You had Saliba onto the top of that. It's looking a bit healthier.
Correct.
Cool. But then you get a Tavares and Lokonga, and when push comes to shove and your players get injured and you don't rely upon them, then I just think, well, did we buy 6 players last year or did we buy 4?
Yeah, well, we bought 6, but obviously we only really, he might not have known, the Congo got thrown in the deep end. Tavares are fair enough.
Bro, this deep end thing, I don't like that deep end thing because Lokonga didn't get thrown in the deep end. Isn't he a Belgian international? Isn't he? Didn't he captain Anderlecht when he was young, and he received big reviews from Vincent Kompany. So I'm not having it's not like we threw him in against Real Madrid at the Bernabeu. When Partey got injured, it was Brighton, I think. And Tavares the same thing. Like, at the end of the day, people can say 6 players, 150 million last season, but you look at the reality of the season and the usefulness of those players, and 4, if that.
But that was still a positive, though.
Well, positive compared to previous, but when you end the season 5th, that's not positive. Never will 5th be positive for Arsenal Football Club. Never. This ain't a ladder where you're on one step and the next one you're going to take up. It's not. Why do people think that?
No.
The next step could be down.
5th is never going to be an achievement for Arsenal, but the way this Premier League is right now, the 2 teams that are flying, obviously City and Liverpool, we're a long way off that. But we want to, as a fan, or me as a fan, I want to see progress and something to believe in, hope really. And that's what I thought I saw at moments in the season. Obviously now we're finishing 5th at the end of the season. I'm very much distraught, and there's a lot of pressure on Mikel Arteta. But I'm just saying there was moments where this Turkish wasn't really there full throttle, because I don't know, I felt like you were believing at a point. in a sense.
It's not believing, because I never believe in these owners, and I'll say we're never going to win the league under this ownership. So
not the owners, but some bits of Arsenal that you're seeing.
it's a balance.
So the fans were on side. The style of play from Mikel Arteta.
It's a balance.
Okay.
It's a balance. Do I want Saka to go because he's so toxic in the fan base? No, but I want Saka to know that the fan base are angry with the owners, not with you,
right?
And not with Emil, and not with Martin. You know, point. And that's for them.
That's a good point.
That's not against them. I want the balance to be right. So we're putting pressure on the owners for Mikel, or for the next manager, or for the players. It's not about the players, especially because the players don't come out and defend the ownership. Arteta has, Edu has. It's about them. It's about
that's
above the players.
Though. Yeah, that's their rapper though.
I
know you don't. I know you don't.
Conte came in and done his.
But then you should. So if Arteta left and walked out, you have to.
Last year I said that he should do that if he's not getting back. But then he got 150 million and he got his 6 players in. It is what it is. This season I'd say the same thing. If you're in a job and your reputation is on the line, and you're not getting what you want, and you think that if I don't get what I want, then my reputation is going to go through the mud. Then it's up to you. Do you take the check and the money and know it's coming and know that you're taking that money and you're taking that check because you know you're going to go through the mud? Or do you say, you know what, fuck it, I don't need that. Let me leave because my reputation is more important. It's a choice to make.
It's a choice, and it's not a choice you can make immediately, because if you were put in that position, I think it would take a bit of time to really think things over. I don't know. For me, anyway, personally, I don't know if you'd be like, no, I'm out of here. But I don't think you would. I think you'd revel at the challenge a little bit, but obviously if it gets too far...
Revel at the challenge of giving Eddie new contract and all of this stuff. That's not a challenge to revel in, I'll be honest with you.
I think the challenge in January, him not getting anyone in, because I'm assuming the board didn't want to spend any more money.
I'm angry as a fan watching this. Imagine I was actually managing and dealing with potentially limited resources. Imagine.
Yeah, it'd be frustrating. Listen, we've gone way off tangent, but it's been a very good debate. Now, I have... Thank you to production. I've got all the super chats, and again, I'll have to thank you all. Everyone wants to get involved in this conversation. I think is a frustrating one. Obviously, the news that I have to remind you guys: use Bissouma signing to Tottenham on a £25 million fee. I think it's 30 million with add-ons. I'm just going to reiterate the news so you guys know where we're at. With add-ons, apparently, it's going to be looking to be a 5-year deal. He's looking to do his medical on Thursday to sign in the North London club. That's not obviously us, it's Tottenham Hotspur, which has caused a lot of frustration amongst the fan base. Big up everyone watching 6.5 in here. Please hit the like button and let me go through your super chats, and we'll get back to our debate, Turkish, because I am enjoying it, I must say. Sabin Sovre says, with super chat, says, I don't want to be deluded, but I want to believe Tielemans over Bissouma. So he believes that Tielemans would be a better decision.
They're not the same type of player. You buy both. But.
Right. And what's the hype in Spence? Man's overrated at this point. Interesting. Jaden says it's not just Conte. With a super chat says Paratici has been integral in our transfers the last year. He's completely redone our scouting and transfer departments as well. Super chat here from Dan says, when will we realise that Kroenke has killed this club? Wish there was something I could do. Now, I think that's another topic we'll get to after as well. I think some fans just feel like there's not much they can do to get the Kroenkes out, especially after the Super League era, and us trying to push them out. Another super chat here from Jay says, we're linked with Nkunku for 100 million. That means Liverpool will sign him for 60 million. Also Turkish. Any chance? Do you play some Football Manager on Twitch?
No, I don't, I do want to bring FIFA into Twitch anyway. I did tell my channel subscribers that I'll be doing that. I've got my PS5. I've had it since November. It's still in the box because I want to get the setup right. So soon.
He's lying. He's unplugged it. He practices every night on FIFA. Don't let him gas you, mate.
You know why he's saying that? 3-0 and off, half time. Make sure you check out the AFTV Twitch people where I'm smoking Cecil pretty much every week. Sometimes it's every couple of weeks, but
back to the super chat. So Shref with super chat. It's not every week.
No, every couple of weeks then. Yeah. It's been a little while since the last smoking. Where's that PS5?
Tomorrow we are live on Twitch, guys. So make sure you check us out. Shref with super chat says Turkish bring along deluded duo Ty and Julian on AFTV and ask them what is Arsenal doing with while Conte joins Spurs mid-season, gets top 4, signs Arsenal targets also 20s. Super chat here from Terror Official TV says, are Tielemans and Zinchenko better than Bissouma?
Tielemans and Zinchenko together.
I think that
I take that, and it doesn't make. Like I said, if Arsenal do business, we're not looking at other teams doing. We're looking at our business, especially if it's good business. And Tielemans and Zinchenko at the prices being touted, good business.
And it fills multiple roles, which Arteta does need to fill. It covers left back as well. Zinchenko, he can also slot into midfield.
Yeah, because if I see Xhaka at left back again, then
it's
my
a mad
God,
thing, isn't it? So there we go. Another super chat here from Victor. Liang says, "Big up Cecil and Turkish. I ain't excited about Arsenal next season. Look at Tottenham signing quality players. We will not be any good with top 6 teams challenging. I agree with Turkish until this board goes. We will be great, but I'm assuming he says we will never be great until the board leaves." Super chat here from Brio says, "How am I supposed to back Arteta when Kroenke won't?" It's a good super chat there as well. It's a good point. Lawrence says, "How can we be excited when the Kroenkes pay $175 in, I think probably million contract extensions to their Rams players, yet won't give 1 penny to Arteta to strengthen us?"
mad.
Crazy.
It's
Super
mad.
chat here from Alex Kim says, "Turkish, I can't blame Arteta if we continue this way and fail to succeed because the owners do not care about the club and are not aggressive enough to set up the team to success. Organise a strike." You've done many of these as well. You've done many strikes as well. Not strike, protests. I know you've arranged some. You've been there. Some have failed. Some have been successful. But the Kroenke still stand.
Protest. I know people want the protest and the numbers, the pictures, the flares, the banners and all that, and that is the best way to protest. But when you're as divided as we are, and I just don't know why we're still so divided, that's not going to happen. But you can continue protesting with the merchandise. You know, when's the last time you see me in an Arsenal kit? You can continue protesting by. There's other ways anyway.
Yeah, you can buy AFTV merch, man. You don't have to buy it.
We're going to delve into it anyway because there's going to be a few shows this summer, especially supporters clubs, where the owners are going to be at the tip of my tongue as always. And I'm glad you mentioned that this season. I didn't talk about them as much because already this summer people are like, "Give it a rest, Turkish. Is it every day?" No, it's not. This season I actually didn't mention Kroenke much because I wanted to see how it unfolds. The season will tell you. Sometimes you can be premature and 3 months in think it's all over or think everything's blessed, when in reality 6 months after that you're out of the top 4 or you're in the top. You can be happily surprised. I waited till the end of the season, and
would this been a different conversation, Turkish, if we did get top 4? Do you think?
Of course it would.
Right. So you wouldn't be, because the Kroenkes would still be in control.
No, but I'd still be onto them though.
Interesting.
If we got top 4 and we
didn't make signings
and we dithered about like we are now, then again I'd be like, what's going on? Because that's where we initially got frustrated with Wenger. We was making top 4, but we was dithering about and really we wasn't showing ambition. So I'm not going to change from that frustration. Yes, I'm more frustrated being 5th, 7th, 8th, whatever it is.
Yeah, it hurts a lot more.
But just being back in top 4, I'm not going to celebrate it. It's not a celebration.
Okay, thank you for that, by the way. It's good that it's, like I said, it's consistent. I'd like to challenge some of your thoughts. Alex Kim with a super chat says, I've just read that one, apologies. Michael Anonym says, "Hey Turkish, wrote to you on Twitter, will you be at the preseason friendly in Nuremberg? I'd like to feature on AFTV, non-delusional fan from the Kroenke out." Michael.
Where did he say?
From Nuremberg, so that'll be the preseason friendly on the 8th of July.
One of us are going.
Yeah, I believe that is being sorted as we speak. It might be me, but Michael, message at me or like you said, you added Turkish at me. I'm sure we'll be able to get you on 100% after the game, after preseason friendly over in Germany. Simon Hathaway says with a super chat, "I doubt we will get Tielemans. Every player will have been linked to. We'll go to another club and we will get youngsters for our Process Youth project, so we can win a cup league in 2050.
We'll probably get a WAR this summer.
Probably get what?
A WAR. That's how we work. 2 years of links and then you get him over the line.
I don't think we want a WAR this season. That would be this and that.
Do you get what you want at Arsenal? We don't, so
that's a good point.
Be ready for what you don't want.
Benny with a super chat says, "I wonder if the owners are apprehensive of signings because of the clowns they hired before, and that's why Arteta is having trouble in the window." Now,
they had Wenger. The owners had Wenger, and they fucked him. So that doesn't run. That doesn't run.
I hear you.
Who'd put Emery in? Who put Raul in that position? It was them.
That might have been Kroenke. That might have been the people that he put in charge to get them.
But who put them in charge? That was Kroenke. What, Vinay? Who decided he was a good whatever he is? or Lord Harris of Peckham.
Peckham.
What the hell is going on at this club?
I know, but I do like Benny's point there, because the big sign we made, and I'm going to go into the top signings in the Premier League, the top 10 signings. We're not really on the list. The only one we're okay with ninth with Pepe at 72 million. That hasn't really worked out, so that might make them a bit apprehensive potentially in making a big signing. But again, there's an argument to say I'm not wanting a big name signing. I just want sensible business. I think Bissouma is sensible business. They're 25 million, it's a cheap price. Gnabry, they're buying money saying they want 33 million. It's a good price. It's sensible business. Gnabry is a big name, but you can get sensible business done. Let's not pay these huge fees for these players.
But you need to take the risks. Most big transfers don't live up to expectation. Most of them, because football's gone mad with the fees. Long gone are the days where Ronaldo was the top transfer fee and you got what you paid for. 80 mil and he banged. One of the greatest players ever. Nah, 90 mil for Pogba there, or 120 million for Dembele there, or 140 for Coutinho there, or 70 for Pepe, or 70 for Sancho, or 60 for Ndombele. Most of them risks don't work out. It's about how you manage those risks, and look at Ndombele's out of the door 2 years later with Tottenham, they're forgotten about. Whereas with Arsenal, we take risks, they flop until it's a free transfer or until they're forgotten about. It's like you take one risk with Pepe and you're done. That can't run after all those years of nonsense they did. You don't win stuff. Your chances are so slim of winning the majors without big signings.
Yeah, correct.
Leicester, they've done it. Cool. They've done it without a massive transfer fee. But even Liverpool have spent a lot of money. I know people compare Liverpool to City, and when you compare Liverpool to City, yes, Liverpool do it in maybe a more efficient manner,
correct,
better business model. Well, no, it's hard to even say that because Manchester City as a business, what their owners have done is quite intelligent. But they spent 75 here, they spent 75 there, they're spending 80 here on Nunes. So even a club that we've looked at and said that's the right way to do it, they've spent big as well. They've taken risks. Their risks have worked. That's the difference. Their risks have worked. Why? Because they put a manager in place that knows what he's doing, or a director of football that knows what he's doing, whereas we put people in that are inexperienced.
But even if it doesn't work, you have to have that sort of mindset where you go again as an ownership. I think Chelsea is the prime example of that. Obviously not now, they haven't got Abramovich. When things wasn't working, they would go out and spend more money and bring other players to replace that.
You see the difference with Chelsea and us, yeah? Chelsea, Roman was ambitious, and Roman knew he was giving the club what it needed to be successful.
Yeah.
He wasn't trying to win the league every year. He just wanted a successful football club, and his time at Chelsea was successful. But he knew, as an owner, he's doing his bit. So whoever he employs as the manager or director of football, there's pressure on them because he knows I'm doing my bit. You go do your bit. I'm not a manager. I'm not a director of football. I couldn't care less. I've got the money. I do the business. You go do the football side of things.
Right.
If it's not working there, he can't look at himself and say, you know what, maybe I need to do more, because he knows he's doing enough. So he sacks them and moves on. Now our owners have put a puppet in place because that's what they're more interested in. They're more interested in putting someone there to take the criticism, to explain some of the nonsense that goes on, to take the brunt of fans' frustrations until that cycle is done.
Which he changed, which Arteta did. It felt like he's changed it by bringing them closer together and whatnot. I know that's what they pushed, but I know we go to games, it does feel like that.
Do you think Roman would ever look at fifth as a successful season? Ever? Even if they finished 12th one season and then finished fifth, they wouldn't say, we went from 12th to fifth.
No way.
Because Roman wasn't that type of owner. Kroenke, I'm not saying he's the type of owner to even care where we finish.
Right.
As long as the bottom line makes sense to him, he's happy.
Is the Arsenal manager job an impossible job? Because this is
under the ownership.
Yeah. Is it an impossible job?
Yeah.
Right.
Because listen, if you're a fan from my era, then the standards are so high.
So high, yeah, fair.
But we're not in that era no more. And a lot of fans remind me of that. It's silly to go, but that's all that's what I know, and that's the benchmark the club set. That's the benchmark the club gave me. So I'm always looking at that benchmark and wondering how we get back there, why we can't get back there, and so on. But at the same time, with the managers, they have to balance fans like me who have high standards with an owner who doesn't care and have no standards and doesn't really know what football is. We will never bring in a Conte or a Simeone, because these owners will never accept a man that will challenge upwards like they do. They will never accept it, because it opens up the cracks that they try so hard to paint over.
Yeah. I had to answer that question. I guess, again, I'm diverting, and big up everyone getting involved in the chat. I have to keep saying thank you as well, because we are appreciative of everyone getting involved in the conversation. I had to answer that question because it does, the way you're speaking it, and I'm putting things together in my head as you're speaking, it does seem like an impossible task. And I feel like I wanted to ask, like, will they ever change? And I know you've been asking that for many, you're shaking your head already, you've been asking that for many years, and I know you battle with that as well. And I was just thinking, even, that when we was in that top 4 race, I thought that was going to be the change. January, if we strengthened, we probably would have secured top 4. And then that's a real start to a rebuild, and you can start to see the future progressing, and maybe the Kroenkes will get on board. And you've seen what they do in America with their clubs as well, with the LA Rams and all that. You think, I bought into it. So I was like, fair enough. But
you know what really pisses me off as well,
go on.
is, when Kroenkes took on full ownership, and fans that like to look back on that and say they only became full owners in 2018, wait and see what they're going to do. Like, that was a positive thing.
Yep.
Them becoming full owners was the worst thing to happen. No, the worst thing to happen to Arsenal Football Club behind their initial investment into the club is them taking 100% ownership. But you'll still have fans saying, they've just taken ownership. Now they can do business. Now they can really show what they're about, because they didn't want to, build a business up where Usmanov makes some money or the other shareholders make some money. That was a terrible thing. But people want to change it around and make it seem like that's a new dawn when they became full owners. No, it's not a new dawn for me.
Okay, yeah, fair. Right, we've got another super chat here from, they are moving. Here we go. So, Abin Manu says, Cecil saw a clip where, they are moving, bear with me. Saw a clip where you're talking about Belgian footballers and mentioned Virgil van Dijk, question mark. Watch the full video. Don't just watch a clip. Get the full picture. Watch the full video. I go back and mention, I know he's a Dutch player, but we're speaking about certain styles of players, and that's why I got the confusion in there. Simon,
they haven't seen the clip where you said Sterling's Turkish. I'll find that somewhere.
Or the clip where I'm dancing outside Buckingham Palace.
Hey, legendary. TikTok, look out, man, soon drop.
I hate you so much. People are actually going to look for me.
Fam, listen, if you know, you know. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say.
All right, Nathan Minaz. Pardon? Simon Hathaway says, Robbie needs to buy the club with a super chat here. Says, Turkish as manager, James as assistant, and Cecil as striker. Arsenal will be sorted. Give us a day. Let us do that for one day. Imagine. Nathan Minas says, with a super chat, says, the fans are holding the club back with lowering the standards every single season. Justifying mediocrity. Will go more than 30 years without a title, and our fans won't even mention it. We need to act like a big club for once. Tom with a super chat says, Bissouma 50 million, but he signs for Spurs for 25. This situation happens with Arsenal over and over again. We're a joke FC, and jokers will still say Xhaka is better. Zubair says, with a super chat, says, Bissouma is a fan of the club and is a baller on the pitch. He's been twerking for us for the longest, and we let him join the scum. He'll make us pay. Just quickly, actually, let's keep reading. Sorry, we're going to keep reading these comments. Actually, Jarek with a super chat says, my concern with Arteta and the board is this. I'm assuming it means they signed Ben White instead of Bissouma when we already had Saliba. Make it make sense. Jananard Han says, hey guys, you want to know what transfer will improve us immediately? Sacking this manager. My hamstring has more pull than this manager. Get an elite manager like Luis Enrique and see us challenging in all competitions. Konstantinos, I'm really bad at pronouncing that, apologies. Konstantinos, of course, renewing El Neni's.
Said of course, like you knew all along. Get out of here, man. I said, of course, it was somewhere there.
I knew how to pronounce it, just I stuck. With a super chat says, renewing El Neni's contract makes sense only if you prioritise other positions in this market. I hope I am right, and we get Tielemans, Jesus, and Zinchenko. Andreas E says, KSC, so Kroenke, turn us into English Dortmund, buy cheap young talent, sell big before they peak, maximise profit to fund another Super Bowl, self-sufficient, just keeps you ticking over, not push us forward. It's a great point. And then another super chat here from Shref, back again, big up Shref as well. Julian Tai should speak about what is the process, not Turkish. What is it? Watch Kroenke do it better. He criticised Levy. Squad praised Mikel. He criticised Levy's squad. Praised Mikel's squad. Still got top 4. Now Levy has to back Conte or Kane goes. And that is it for those super chats there. I believe we are up to date with them. Thank you again. 6.7 thousand of you in here. Like I said, please hit the like.
Get it up to 1,000 likes, people.
Yeah,
you know what
smash the like button. You already know what it is. Me and Turkish going through all opinions on Yunus Bissouma. Today, obviously, he's signing to Tottenham Hotspur on a fee of 30 million. A lot of frustration from many people. Turkish isn't surprised by the news. We both believe it was fan-led, the interest in Bissouma. But it does hurt a little bit in the sense that he would do well at Arsenal. He is an Arsenal fan, and the fee is very low for Bissouma. So we don't understand why business hasn't been done. We've signed Marquinhos, a young Brazilian, 19 years old, when other clubs are doing business elsewhere. It is quite frustrating to see. I wanna kind of move on as well and discuss just quickly the most expensive signings in the Premier, because you did touch on it, and it is quite fascinating. You spoke about risks being taken by other clubs, not always working. We're going to go from number 1 at the moment. It's Jack Grealish, 100 million to Man City. If we're honest, hasn't worked this season. Do I believe it can work under Pep? I think he's probably got something in his back pocket where next season you might see Jack Grealish flourish a bit more.
Grealish is never worth 100 million.
Never worth that, but it's a big risk though.
He's never going to justify that price tag.
Do you genuinely believe that? Never.
He's never going to justify. I'm from an era where Cristiano Ronaldo was 80 million. I base everything off of that. I know football's changed and the money's changed. But listen, that's where I blame certain clubs for fucking up the transfer market. I forgot who was first, but I remember wasn't it Ronaldo 80 mil and Neymar was around that as well when he signed for Barca? Or he might have been just above that because there was some discrepancies with the way Barcelona conducted that business. Then all of a sudden United pay 90 for Pogba. And I know Pogba's a good player, but a central midfielder, 90 mil, it was madness. And then from there, the market gets skewed. Keepers as well. Liverpool's, how much did they pay for Alisson? 70 mil? Yeah,
then Kepa was 72 to
72
Chelsea.
Mil. Potentially ruined the market. Luckily, the goalkeeper market isn't ruined because you can still get a keeper for 20 mil, 25, 30 mil.
Well, we almost paid 40 for Ramsdale, but ended up being
Maguire, 80 mil.
He's on there as well.
Liverpool done well with Virgil, 75.
Yep,
I mean, that set a good benchmark. And then Man United go and just back that out of the park with 80 mil from Maguire. And it's just like, well, what's worth what anymore? Yeah,
because back in the day, strikers used to always earn the most and always be the top fees because they got the goals. And everyone, I wanted to be a striker, not just for that reason. I enjoyed scoring goals. I was good at it, but it's always attractive to be a striker. But now it's all over the park. In the top signs of whatever position it can be. Like again, Sancho's in there as well, 76 million as well. There's we spoke about Virgil, Kai Havertz, Pepe, 72 million for Arsenal. So they take risks, but you've got to take risks at times.
Only one in that list lived up to expectation. Only one, and that's Van Dijk.
Okay, so I'm just going to name the list there. Jack Grealish, Lukaku, Pogba, Lukaku again, Nunes, Darwin Nunes, Liverpool hasn't been confirmed yet, but obviously Nunes is there, Maguire, Sancho, Virgil, Kai Havertz, Pepe and Kepa.
Only Virgil. And that just proves you need to take risks. It's all good and well saying, these risks don't necessarily work, but if the opposition are taking risks and a few of those are working, that's better than not taking risks and nothing working.
Yeah, agreed. Well, we are coming towards the end of the hour. There's a super chat that just come in. We are going to round up. Chris Fraser says, we're just collateral for KSC. The Kroenkes invest just enough into our club to keep us profitable, enough to be used as
asset.
Yeah, basically as a collateral for their other business ventures. We'll never win the Premier League with the Kroenkes. Has very much been a good show discussing that. I'm going to quickly read out again. You can get your merch over at shop.aftv.co.uk. There is a discount code available for you guys. It is Guna20. You get 20% off up until Father's Day. Go treat the fathers or yourself to a new top or a new jumper. Go check that out. And quickly, I want to round off as well. Just to finish off, we've got another super chat. We'll get back to that. Kick-ins or over throw-ins, Turkish?
Nah, keep football the same, man.
Yeah, you don't want to see kick-ins instead of throw-ins? Arsene Wenger, our guy is pushing. Oh my God, our guy is kind of pushing that. You don't want to see that. They want to trial it. No, reduce wasting time.
Wenger should allow it, man. Seriously, man. Two World Cup every 2 years now. Kick-ins instead of throw-ins. My guy, please.
All right, people, please do leave your comments after the show as well, so we'll be checking them as well, because this has been a really good show. It's been very interactive as well, so thank you for all your comments. Big up everyone in there in the chat. Laser Gaming, sorry, I see you with Gooners. Gio has a super chat saying, Turkish, was Gazidis really the problem at Arsenal, or was it more Arsene? He came to my club and in 3 years we are champions.
No, Gazidis is just another puppet. He's gone over to Milan and apparently done good work. I don't know the ins and outs of it all, but I know they won the league. But Gazidis is just a puppet, like Wenger was. Emery wasn't. Raul wasn't. Hence why their time came to an end pretty swiftly. Arteta, in my opinion, is. Edu definitely is. Vinay, oh my God, he's definitely a puppet. But Gazidis, yeah, he was a puppet. He took money. He knew what was going on. And he just, took his wage, went home and acted like everything's all good when it wasn't.
Yeah. AN with a super chat says, we have the most plastic fan base in the world, and AFTV with their views promote mediocrity. Wow. We are the third biggest club. Please raise the standards instead of focusing on money. League kind of keeps it real. I find it tough to kind of speak on it before we kind of round up here. It's just, we give our opinions, and there's such a wide.
There's different people on AFTV. That's the thing.
Across the whole channel.
No one can say that I don't have standards. That's for sure. I'm my own person. Cecil's his own person. Facts. James is his own person. Robbie's his own person. Ty's his own person.
Julian's his own person.
So on. What AFTV is a fan channel that brings different opinions on. And when you're of one opinion, you're not going to like the opposite of that opinion. Better you don't watch it. I don't watch it. It seems that that guy is very much in line with my thoughts on the club and whatnot. I just choose not to watch it. I choose to continue banging on the drum that I believe is the drum that needs to be banged on.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
But then there's going to be other fans that will be banging on their drum. They believe they have it, have that being banged on. So it's an interesting one. Like,
because you see, it's easy to talk with people that it's easier to talk with people that agree with you all the time. That's an easy conversation to have. It's a lot more difficult to have a debate about something, try win someone over, try prove something.
Yeah.
And that's the task at hand for people that are like me, for people that believe in what I believe in, that the owners, the ownership, the manager, whatever it is, not good enough and so on. Just continue banging on the drum. I don't know what asking AFTV to do about it is really going to do when, like I said, it's a platform for varying opinions. Yeah. It's weird to me.
Exactly that. It's like we go out pretty much week in, week out. We speak with various fans. We go around the stadium, we go around the area, we speak to them.
Trust me, I disagree with 90% of it. I disagree with 90%. I don't watch it. It jars me, and in reality, it frustrates me no end. I might as well bang my head off a wall and watch some people's opinions. But what can I do? I can only stay true to myself and what I believe in.
Right. Well, thank you everyone for tuning into this live stream. Hopefully more signs come through the window, but make sure you check out Transfer Daily every morning with Robbie, giving you the latest news and rumours around the club. Make sure you do check it out. And thank you, Turks, for joining me.
Yeah,
it's been a good one. And
where's Dave been today, man?
I think he came in earlier, but
Dave came and went. Oh, my guy.
He did cut out. Listen, big up everyone. We will be back soon, and we'll be hearing from you guys as well on all of the news around Arsenal. Take care and have a good rest of your week. Peace.
Love.